You know, these days when people say good morning, what some hear is good money, because money is important. And that's what we're talking about this morning. Pardon me. We have joining us on the show Shola Adeshaki, finance and wealth coach, lead coach, founder, Smart Stewards, also a chartered accountant. Good morning, Shola.
Good morning.
Last time we had you on the show, January the 2nd,
Right.
a lot has changed.
Absolutely.
From the price of petrol,
Yes,
to the availability of petrol, to the price of food items, to inflation figures, to generally minimum wage too has been increased as well.
No, they've not started paying. So.
Right. So there's a lot going on, and there's still that big challenge of trying to first multiply what you have, try to find ways to multiply what you have, make your money work for you. But it looks like all of these challenges are eating into you and dividing that money, subtracting, dividing, and all of that. So amidst all of these challenges, how are things working out well from that finance coach perspective? Is this still a time for you to thrive?
Good morning, and thank you for having me. I think my message in the last two and a half years has been the same. You don't have control over what is happening at the national economy level, at the global economy level, but you have a bit of control over what is happening at your personal economic level. And what happens therein is what you make versus what you spend. Now, my message is still, guys, we don't have control over what the economy is saying, but we have control over things like exploring multiple sources of income, learning new skills. When we spoke in January, I mentioned how people can practically explore improving their income sources. And my message since then has not changed. So I think a good place to start from is, if you want to last in this economy, you have to embrace the acronym LAST. Learn a new skill continuously. Apply the new skill continuously. Scale the new skill continuously. Tech the new skill. Automate it. For example, practically speaking, because this is not about speaking grammar, I'm a chartered accountant, 24 years of hands-on experience. Right now, I have about 4 or 5 sources of income. But every day, I am actively looking at what the economy is saying. We say inflation is 33%, 34%. You practically go to the market, things have doubled, 100%, 200%. If you don't constantly look at how you can improve yourself. So I was saying that even as a chartered accountant, I'm like, what are we doing again? What are we doing next? Because there are forces contending against your money. What you could do with 1 million last year, you can't even do with 200K this year. So the goal is to keep increasing that income, your disposable income, so that you can live your desired lifestyle.
Or what you could do with 1 million, you can't do with 5 million.
Oh, yeah. Right. So, 1 million is about 200,000 now. Literally, because inflation, devaluation issues and all of that. So what I'm saying in essence is, everybody listening to me, when it comes to money, a credit alert is a credit alert, no matter how small it is. And a credit alert is always better than a debit alert. So whatever your hands find to do, as I am last week, I was learning a new skill that I'm going to monetize. In addition, so there's no shame. You can't be broke and be proud at the same time. Listen, and you can't be waiting for the government. We have been waiting for a long time. So what you practically can do is, what are the skills I can learn? What are the things that people need around me? Before I finish, I'm going to share 5 things you can practically monetize in this economy. So what I'm saying is, keep your eyes off those realities, because I saw your video in the last conversation. The cues are there. We can't wish them away. And we can't wish our situation away, but we can wish ourselves into a new level of income. So skill yourself. Last. Learn a new skill. Apply the new skill. Scale it. Use tech.
So let's go to something practical. You're going to help us with a scenario planning. It's a simple scenario for us. I don't know what business or an individual you will take, and they'll help us apply these things you've talked about and the one you want to talk about. Because the whole idea of this program, this morning, this segment, is to help people get more money into their bank accounts or into their piggy or whatever it is that they, wherever they put their money is. That's the idea. Because people are really struggling.
I love it.
Some is 100% inflation, some is 200% inflation, some is as much as 400% inflation. That's why people are even doubting the numbers from the MBS. But we will stay with the numbers and just do the best we can, because if we throw all of our numbers together, we don't have the right metrics to measure the things we want to measure. So give us a clear example.
Practical example,
so that somebody who's watching can say, okay, this example, I can apply it in my life or my business or my whatever.
Brilliant. So I qualified as a chartered accountant 24 years ago. About 5 years ago, I consulted for a company on the island. Every day I'll pack my lunch. But about 10, 11, I would start to feel peckish. If I ate my lunch at 11 and I was closing at 5, that means I had about 6 hours of no food. So I'll say, get me snacks. They'll say, Ma, we have to spend 1,000 naira on transport. So there's nobody around that can sell or that sells snacks. So one day on my way home, for the first time, I identified a snack shop around my area. So I walked in and I'm like, it was a Thursday, I can't forget. So I walked in and I'm like, tomorrow is Friday, I'm coming to pack some snacks and I need a discount, right? And they said, yeah, come. So Friday morning I went, packed scotch, egg roll, took it to work. As soon as I got to work, gave it to my office assistant. Within 1 hour, she had sold out. I'm like, what? On my way home, I went back there and I'm like, I'm not reselling, I want to learn. Saturday, the lady came, the whole Saturday, Sunday after church, she taught me how to become a confectioner, now whatever it is. So I went from being a chartered accountant to becoming a scotch egg maker, chartered scotch egg maker. That was how I built it.
You backward integrated and wholesale takeover.
Listen, I practically from nothing, no experience in confectionery, started a confectionery business. And for as long as I did it, it made me good money. That's an example. Look around you. So I was saying that there are 5 things you can practically monetize. Okay. What are you passionate about? Do you see? I love to speak about personal finances. I love confectionaries. I love fragrances. Those things have influenced the kind of business I have gone into. And then I look at what I'm also passionate about at the intersection of what people around me need. That's an example. What is your potential? Listen, we have to think very, very, very quickly. 3 months ago, a friend of mine was going to host a global conference. And then the night before, I helped her in planning. The night before, she said, Shola, you're going to host this conference. I'm like, what does that mean? She said, you're going to be the moderator for 3 days. I didn't know I had the talent. By the time we finished that conference, people were literally taking my card. Our next conference, you're going to host it. That's how I became a chartered moderator. Do you see?
2 or 3?
Yeah.
Three.
So,
Three.
passion, potential, your past experiences sometimes. What are the things that you have gone through and that you're still passionate about? Look out for those things. Some of us, you read zoology, agriculture in school, and you're like, now I'm a banker, it really doesn't matter. Go back to it. There's something in it for you. Partnerships. Monetize, that's the first P. Some of us have skills, we need access. Some people have access, they don't have time. Look for people, like minds. What can we do together? Listen, I'm running a training on business consulting, how to understand the financial side of your business. What can you bring to the table? Can we join emotional intelligence? We charge together. We run the skill. Partnership.
Can we join journalism?
Listen.
Okay. Does that meet Jeffrey?
What online course? My first online course was on how to get out of debt. 2,500, about 10 years ago. From there, practical things. How do you get out of debt? Makeup. Practical things. How do you, make up for the business and busy professional woman? Basic things that people need. So the 5, I said, monetize your passion, your potential, your past experiences, your proficiency as well. What you learned in school, how can you apply beyond your 9 to 5? You want to write a book, you want to do online courses. These days demand that we think out of the box. So rather than just complaining, let's look at practical things around us. Some of us are good at trading. People tell you have the ability to convince people. What can you sell in addition to what you already know? So there's no hard and fast rule. This is not about textbook. Just start something that is an offshoot of what you know and what people need. So conversations, we are talking, guy, what's happening? Oh, I know this person. Let's talk to this person. Let's do something together. And literally you would be able to sort of improve your income and take things away from there. So last,
Yeah, exactly.
right.
Those were
So
four.
last, right? How did I apply? How can I apply my confectionery experience to last? I learned how to make sausages, egg roll. I applied it by getting somebody to work with me, and I started to sell it. I scaled it into a business because I started to get orders until I'm like, no. I don't want to be a chartered egg roll maker because it was also taking my time. And then if I was going to continue in that line, I run on social media. I've got the best confectionaries in town. I can, provide confectionaries for your meetings. You can take it to church at the back of your car. I took my confectionaries to church every Sunday. We ran 4 services. So different departments, they knew they were always coming.
So after the spiritual blessing, they get the physical
My brother,
stomach.
money does not discriminate. It goes to where there is value. So as long as there is value, money will come there. So if you would not be proud, if you would look around you and say, you know what, is it about being proud and packaging and forming, about meeting my needs? We're not even talking about savings. It is out of the money you have that you can save. Saving, investments, they're very, very important, because if you don't do that now, in the future, you'd always be in a rough patch. But at least make the money so that your basic needs, your rent, your children's school fees, you can meet them, and then you will have excess to save.
Beautiful. So clearly you're saying that there's still money in this economy.
There is money.
Plenty money.
There is money.
So we can hold that on one hand. The second part is time. And I think you referenced that, how at some point you realized that this was eating into the time I have. Right now, a lot of people tell you, I don't have time. They're doing one job, but the job is a lot.
Demanding.
Right, quite demanding. And maybe they have family as well to add to that. They have different things going on. And it's really hard to take time out of the time that isn't there to pursue these things. Brilliant, they sound good. So how do you manage that time issue, particularly this time? The things people face right now, it's quite a lot. You have to deal with so much things, unlike what we used to have decades ago. So how do you tweak that time issue such that you can have more time on your hands to pursue these things and get more money in?
Thank you. Let me talk about time from a leverage point of view. We all have 24 hours, but sometimes I say some people have more than 24 hours. How? Leverage. For example, the richest man in Africa up until recently is in the salt industry, sugar industry, pasta industry, refinery industry. Is most likely not in all of those industries or factories at the same time, but he's leveraging people. So let me bring it back home to the everyday Nigerian who goes to work from 5 a.m. and comes back around 10 p.m. Obviously, your time is in something already. And well, based on your current circumstances, you feel that is what will give you the best value for your time. I'm not saying resign from your job. But the question is, what can you then do outside of that time during the weekend? Or most importantly, what can you do with others who have more time than you? For example, I don't do a 9 to 5 job because I run my business. But if I were to be working within a 9 to 5 setting, I know businesses that I can do. For example, my confectionery business, which is just, I know I've talked a lot about it because I wanted to be practical, but what I could have done is set up a shop, set up a system whereby when I am not there, it is running. But I know that in the current Nigerian economy, people are like, nah, people cannot be trusted. But there are other things that do not necessarily require having a brick and mortar structure. So it's about thinking, it's about you saying, who can do stuff for me when I am not there? These days you can learn graphic design. You can put your services on sites like Fiverr, Upwork, Freelancer and all of that, such that when you have time during the weekend, you can do those things. So there are hard skills, there are soft skills that you can acquire. It's hard. These things, we can go on and on, but if we want to make them happen, we have to be hard on ourselves because the economy is hard on us.
Okay, winding down, let's also talk to students.
Right.
So what do you advise for students who, everybody will say, face your studies, and the students are not even having enough to be able to take care of themselves, or the parents giving them money for some people within the lower echelon of the society. They need money to be able to buy books, pay tuition, although we have loans now, but not everybody may be lucky to get all of those loans. What should students do to make that extra income that will not affect their studies?
Thank you. The same things apply. I think students right now are even more blessed and fortunate. You don't have responsibilities. You're not thinking about rent. You're not thinking about children. You're not thinking about people to cater for. So the question is, what are you doing with your time? What skills? These days, we see what technology can do for us, right? I have about 3 or 4 young people at Smart Stewards who work for us, not full-time, but part-time, and we pay them on a monthly basis. Social media manager, graphics manager, communities manager, and many other things. And they do some other things. We respect that the world has become a small global village where you can run different things when you have the time. So youngsters watching me, please learn as many skills as you can. There are some skills you would learn just to, make the ends meet. As you go on with your studies, you then decide on the line you are towing. But right now, to make more money, explore the available skills and opportunities around you.
It's so funny. I remember as a young person, I learned tailoring, Jeffrey. I learned to make chin-chin,
I learned tailoring too.
And those things add up.
Listen.
They add up in one way or the other.
You find it useful
Somehow.
somewhere in life.
You may learn something else from it. Final question. We have about 30 seconds to go quickly. In terms of charging, because you have a business and I wonder, how do I charge? I don't want to overcharge. I don't want to undercharge. I want to charge well, but the economy is not smiling. So do I just, is there a hack to charge?
First of all, what is your cost? You can't charge below your cost.
Right.
So consider your cost, add a little margin to it, consider what the competitors are doing, right? The essence of business is profitability. Make something that will take care of your cost.
Cost has sub-entities, so you may have to break it down.
Okay, so cost, you have direct cost.
Maybe next time on the show.
But hey, later this month we have a summit on the 21st of September. I'm inviting everybody to come. Come and learn more about these things.
Into the cost quickly. Let's do 30 seconds.
So thank you. They are direct costs.
Yeah.
So you are making confectionaries, which is a typical example I've used. Cost of flour, sugar, milk, egg. Those are direct costs. Then there are overheads, transportation, shop, internet. Those are indirect costs. So your sales minus your direct cost will give you a gross profit. Gross profit minus indirect cost will give you a net profit. So net profit is
sorted everything else.
Sorted everything out. So your direct cost, indirect cost, add a margin on it. Something decent, then compared with what your competitors are charging, and then take a decision.
Fantastic point there. We have to thank you so much, Shola Adeshaki, finance and wealth coach, lead coach, founder, Smart Stewards, chartered accountant. It's been a fantastic conversation with you, I must say, and I imagine a lot of people are grateful for that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.